The Vivian Webb Chapel Bell Tower can be seen overlooking the Webb campus. It is a significant part of the chapel's architecture, and it has a unique role in the history and traditions of the chapel. Thomson Webb began planning the construction of a chapel to be put on the school's campus in the late 1920s and early 30s. When Webb began construction of the Vivian Webb Chapel in 1937, the bell tower was not included in the original design plans. The construction, which began in 1954, differed from the rest of the chapel as the bricks were not made with the surplus earth from the chapel's surrounding terrain. Instead, they were made with cement and laid by a construction company. Since the tower was projected to be about 50 feet tall, the county building department did not allow Webb to use handmade adobe bricks.
The bells now in the tower are a variety of different types which were collected by Thomson Webb in the 1930s.
The other bells were acquired from scrapyards, which was where a variety of Thomson Webb's collection came from, and they were repurposed for the chapel. The Kimberly Tower was the last piece of construction laid for the building, and a dedication service was hosted on November 6, 1955, to celebrate the chapel's completion. Much of the funding for the chapel was gifted by Mary Shirk, president of Scripps College from 1942 to 1944, and her sister. In accordance with this, the bell tower was named after their father.
The design plans for the chapel were created by William Brandt and modeled after California's Spanish-style mission churches. However, the bell tower plans were designed separately. Roland Coate, who created the bell tower design, was known for designing a variety of colonial revival-style buildings around California. The colonial revival looked to America's federal style for inspiration, with elements such as pedimented doorways, porches, and dormer-windows being typical. The bell tower retains aspects of the Spanish mission style with slight colonial revival influence, significantly in the cornice and archways of the tower. Thomson Webb took inspiration from the San Juan Capistrano mission, which is apparent by the chapel and the mission's comparable layout and build.
The San Juan Capistrano mission, like the 20 other missions in California, was established by the Spanish Franciscan friars and was part of the effort by the Spanish government to settle what is now the state of California from 1769 to 1833. Although the missions have been condemned for their role in destroying Native American culture and life, they serve as reminders of California's Spanish influence. A bell tower was a common addition in these missions, and it was typically used to signal important times of the day, such as meal times or prayer times. When considering the purpose of the bell in the chapel tower, Webb envisioned a schedule that the bell would follow. As the sound of the bells could be heard throughout the campus, it was planned that the chiming of the bells would map out the schedule for the students. Webb also acquired an electric ringer which would ring the bells on a schedule and also be remotely controlled from his office. Today, however, the bells are rung sparingly. Ringing only during chapel talks, ceremonies, and other special events, the tradition has lost some of its original prominence. This is partly due to the age of the bells, as the bells in the chapel can be dated back to as early as 1882. The mechanism to ring the bells is also aging, as it was custom made in the 1940s using a variety of miscellaneous parts, such as a chain from a bike and a part of a washing machine.
Despite the change in its original purpose, the ringing of the bells are still a consistent part of Webb students' daily life. Used to commence notable ceremonies, the bell serves as a symbol to new beginnings and tribute to Webb's history. Bridging the past and the present, the ringing of the bells on the campus is a consistent reminder of Thomson Webb's legacy.
The history of the Kimberly Tower, combined with its central role on campus, reinforces it as a piece of Webb's identity and history.